are live now. I'm not sure if Manny is joining. He's in India, so but I guess we'll see. But yeah, I got some a little bit of clarity. Yeah, definitely our conversation helped last time. So I think what I kind of came down to is like I started seeing the revenue falling and I was kind of having a panic moment on everything. And so I was talking with my marketing officer and I was like, okay, we're gonna have to let the copywriters go. We're basically gonna have to cut the staff down. And I was kind of getting irritated that like people weren't getting sales through and like what's going on with that, and there wasn't follow-up on all this stuff, and it's like I feel like people are dropping the ball. So I was thinking about going to like Skeleton Crew and then can we survive with this? And I realized there's still plenty of room with income coming in from membership and coaching and whatnot, and it's not as bad of a situation. But kind of like I think looking at kind of the rock bottom of it helped me to get to a point where I was like, basically kind of what we were talking about. And I realized like I could just run this as a Skeleton Crew if I wanted to and be fine. And there's no pressure of time of producing stuff of, it'll just keep on, it'll run, right? It's not going to increase in income, but it'll cover the expenses and everything. And then that kind of got me to the point more of where I was just thinking about like, and multiple threads kind of came into play, just listening to different people. I was talking about that Dan Koe guy. Just recently I watched a actualized Leo's thing on Andrew Tate, and he was talking about a lot about like just not being a hack or a hustler, and I started to kind of realize I was like, what, a lot of the stuff that I've been creating has not been what I wanted to create, right? Like that, like just something super high quality, something really that I could be proud of. That not that it was as bad, it was just rushed out the door. I think that's the best way to describe it. So I said, all right, well, I'm just gonna start making cool stuff, right? Like I'm just gonna start making videos that I want to, with the just taking my time on them, and we kind of talked about this before, but I'm not even going to worry about a niche. I'm not even going to worry about, any of those things. I'm just going to create the stuff that is fun for me to create. You know what I mean? And that's the path that I'm going to go down. So I'm going to start writing again because I enjoy doing that. So kind of just looking for like, what do I enjoy doing and do that. And then when I create a program, a course, it's going to be something to the level that I want it to be, not just getting it out the door. And then also I was talking about the marketing message too, because I also was like, man, I just don't even want to do like marketing the way we've been doing marketing. Like, I don't even want to like do copy and sales pages and all of that stuff. Instead, I'd rather just write from the heart and just, write an email message talking about the thing that I'm creating and why I like it and why it's awesome, and then writing a sales page similar where I'm just designing, talking about what I want to talk about in that sales page, not worrying about the copy. And I think the authenticity of that will sell better than the copy. And even if it doesn't, even if it's 25% less effective, I will feel better about it, and I'll feel, and I think that's kind of what I came to. So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. It's just and I feel better. I feel relieved. Like I don't have this pressure to create things that are not that meaningful to me. And now I have time and space to be able to do all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. It's correlated, but it's not always that like if your goal is to maximize profit, it doesn't always 100% correlate with what you want to create.
Right.
That's like the artist dilemma, right? Like
exactly.
a lot of like Hollywood actors, like they want to make their like indie art movie, but it's like, all right, it's not going to do that well probably. But then it's like, you got to do this blockbuster. It's like, all right, fucking copy. Like imagine like all the comedians like Will Ferrell and Adam Sandler, like, all right, like I got to make another one of these like films where I'm acting like an idiot because that's what sells. but they want to make this like different movie. And sometimes it does pay off, right? That art that like they really like,
Right.
but not all the time, right? And I think that the reason why is because the majority of people out there, John, it's like they want the same shit, right?
Yeah.
So is your goal then just say, fuck it, I'm just gonna make whatever I want to make as long as I find it cool and I like it, I watch it, and I enjoy it. That's all you care about. That's your goal.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and it's kind of funny because I watched, like I said, Leo's video yesterday, and I was kind of going back through his videos and kind of what his offering is and stuff like that. And he's kind of remained pure throughout the whole thing as best as he could, right? Like he does like 2 or 3 hour long videos, right, talking about what he wants to talk about, and his motive is not to just sell you something or stuff something down your throat. You know, he's got a life, you know, mastery kind of course that's like a very, you know, but it's something that he's proud of, that he's put a lot of work into, that, so I just kind of
Leo in the beginning. I've been following his channel for a very long time. I saw him before he blew up. In the beginning, he was making content that was helping him blow up his channel to almost 1 million subscribers. Then he started making content that he wanted to make.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah. But I mean, I feel like it's more of that's kind of the level that I like. So somewhere along the line, I became an internet marketer, right? And it's like, and there's always been kind of a balance between it, but it's not, I'm too far on this side, on the line that I don't want to be. And I just believe that by creating the good quality stuff where my heart's in it, I'll produce a better result. And I don't even care at this point. It's like, I'd rather make half the money, but enjoy what I'm doing. Right. Like I guess that's kind of the conclusion. Cause I could, I can make a lot of money doing unethical stuff for sure, or or just like spamming out some junk and throwing it, like, but it's not, but why? Like, what I mean? And I kind of had moved, I kept on, I guess I've been seeing myself creep more over to the just market, it's, even like I said, I was telling my copywriter, I was like, even just having someone else copywriting my emails for me, it just feels inauthentic, right? It's not my writing. And I don't know, like I mean, I get it, and I don't judge other people that are doing it, but I rather bring back the purity of what I'm doing. So
yeah, no, there's definitely an appeal to that. I 100% agree. And yeah, it goes back to what I was saying. It's like, is your goal to scale and expand and get as much money as possible, or is it to do something that you just truly want to do every day? Like what you do every day is what you love doing. Like,
right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's what it comes to. And but I do have in my mind too, and again, it doesn't have to be this way, but I do believe that that by going this route, that it will actually be more profitable. Right. I mean, maybe it's not true. Maybe it's just a fantasy that I have in my head, but I have a really strong conviction that is true, because when I look at like the people that do buy my stuff, especially the high ticket stuff, they're the people, majority of them, when I get on calls, they're people that have been there for like 7-8 years, that followed my original stuff, that stuff built the trust in what in me, and not the newer stuff that I've been creating. So yeah.
No, I definitely and at the end of the day, like, no matter, you're going to be fine financially, right? Like,
yeah,
not like you're going to go bankrupt.
No, I mean, I do have like a concern that I didn't have before, which is I bought this house here in San. So my house payment's like 10 grand a month or so, but I do have the passive income that can cover that, right? Like right at that. So I mean, there's options, right? I mean, I could sell the house, like there's like I but
of course,
but I have enough income coming in. I only need to really make like 5 to 10K a month, really, so
yeah, that's nothing for like. So for you then, like, did you think much of like what that, I think I asked you last week, like what your longer 5-year, 10-year vision is? Like what do you want it to turn into? Do you have an idea?
I think it's more like, I think I think I'm going back to kind of the, the thing that I feel like made me more successful, which was not looking in those terms, but just looking at, okay, what's the very next rock that I'm leaping to? Like, what's the next goal? And then getting there and then saying, okay, where do we go next? Right. I feel like that is a better path, where you just focus on that one goal, get that thing done, and then look for the next thing.
But what's it all for though? Like, what's the purpose of it all? Is like, I guess what I'm trying to.
I don't know. We find out as we go.
Really? Doesn't that go against all conventional wisdom of like finding your starting with the end in mind, having that end goal, the reason why you're doing it?
I guess it does. I guess it does. Um, but I don't know. I mean, I like, I don't know. I just don't feel like there's a strong enough why, to push me in a direction that won't push me in a direction of money that is going to corrupt what I'm trying to do.
Mm,
Right. Not that I'm not, trying to make money. Of course, I'm going to make money and run the business, but
So
I don't know. Yeah.
what's an example of like a piece of content you made that was like based in making money purely instead of like your desire to make it?
I mean, I would say almost everything that I've created in the last year or so, right? Like, it's been about, okay, well, what can I create that's going to get views, or that's going to, what, like, get people on board with what I'm selling, right? So
I see. Okay, well, I'm excited to see this change. Do you have an idea of what you want to start creating?
yeah, I mean, I already wrote a script for my next YouTube video. It's a long script. It's
What's the
about
idea? Yeah.
it's about my divorce, right? Like the secret I was keeping about being married and getting divorced. So it's the full story. So should be good. And I think
Right
the
up my
story,
alley.
like,
Right up my alley.
I think the story, I think it will also get the most views of any video on my channel, just based on what it is,
Do you know what the title is going to be? Just like
I have a
my
couple.
story of divorce, or
Well, I have a couple of titles. Let me give you. Let me see.
yeah, I was wondering if it's going to be more based on you or like just like more like broader audience, like why most men get divorced or like.
Oh no, this is just my story, basically. Um, where is the? Okay, so two possible titles that I have so far. Oh, why is it not open? Okay, so one of them is the truth behind my divorce, my biggest secret. And the other one is I lied to you, I was married and divorced.
I like the second one better
Yeah. the, the second
because
one.
the word secret I think is too played out now in copywriting. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, the second one was the one I was afraid of, but that's what it's gonna be.
I
Yeah,
think I'd be more willing to click on the second one for sure.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that has a lot more curiosity in there, and it hits, both of the.
What's the thumbnail again? Do you have an idea what the thumbnail is going to be?
Close up of my face, focus on my eye. In my pupil, you can see a picture of me exhausted and broken, a wedding ring, a mysterious blurred out girl, and the words divorce.
Oh, I want to see that.
That's what I'm envisioning. I think that would be a pretty cool thumbnail. And then it's got, the script is about 7,000 words long. So it's a pretty long, probably like a 45-minute video, half an hour to 45 minutes. So
yeah. Wow. All right.
yeah. And I go through everything, like the whole details of everything. So
What do you want the audience to feel?
that's a good question. I mean, I'm not even really thinking in those terms, I guess. It's like I want to tell the story. Like, it's, I mean, it's like um I guess I want them to feel like this is a new, like they knew something was going on, and here it is. Like, this is that yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious.
But yeah, that's where I'm at. I think it's a good place, and we'll see. I mean, things may shift, but I feel like that's the way I need to be doing things. It's just like bring back the kind of like spirit of adventure, of creating things, of of the authenticity and transparency.
Yeah, I like it. Very cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see how the video does. When do you think you're going to post it? I mean, you still got to record it and edit it. It's going to take a while.
Yeah, I've got a video guy. Do you have any? Do you have a local video guy or videographer or some?
Videographer?
Yeah.
No, not videographer. No. I have I have our 2 editors, but they're not local.
Okay, but you just shoot your own videos.
Yeah, I definitely do. I think I'm not at the production level where I want someone to record my stuff yet.
Yeah, I've got a guy that I talked to. His day rate is like $2,000 a day for shooting videos, but he said he would do a full video and all the editing for $2,500
for this video.
Yeah, so that's pretty steep investment in video, but
yeah, it is. But I mean,
I feel like it's probably worth it. Even just working with a professional to get this done would teach me a lot.
Yeah,
I think, and if anything, it will make it get done and push it forward, right? So like, even if I'm just paying for that part of it, because could I record it? I've got the equipment, yeah, for sure, but I want to do multiple scenes and locations and stuff like that. So
I can't wait to see it.
and that's what I'm thinking too, is it's like, what if I do like one video a month and it costs me $2,500 or so to produce that video every month, right? Like,
I saw a short from Ed in Film Booth. It's training right now. He just came out and he had a good short. He was talking to Logan Paul's editor, and the editor was saying so quality versus quantity. He's like, think of it like this: think of like waves hitting a shore, and like trying to remember that wave, and like you can have little waves constantly hitting the shore like every minute or every week, or you can have this massive tidal wave like hit once a month, and people will remember them kind of equally. But it's just like, you got to just think of it in terms of like how many waves are hitting the shore, how big is the wave. So like, as far as quality and quantity, there is no right answer, right? You can find examples, hundreds of examples of each channel like that. It's just like, how much effort are you putting into these videos? The audience can tell, right? Because if you think about it too, like 100 videos in a month versus like 2 solid cranking videos that took forever to make, it can make just as equal amount of subscribers and views and everything, because the same amount of energy is going into it, right? Just split across 100 or 2 giant videos.
Right. I think the difference though too between those two can be like, even though you might get the same results in terms of views or subscribers in those two, if you release a new video, which one of those strategies is someone more likely to click and watch? And also, which one of those strategies is more likely to get people have a higher view of your brand, or be willing to pay more money to you, or be willing to follow you, have a higher affinity for you, right? And I think that the more produced, the more time that you put in, like into longer, not necessarily longer, but less quantity but higher quality, will produce a better result in the end, even though in the short term it might not. But
yeah, I see where you're coming from. I do. Like every like video is like a piece of art that's gonna like stand the test of time. I get that. I see that.
I was thinking too, it's like, because I was playing that game Elden Ring, and I looked it up. I was like, man, that game is huge, right? I was like, how long did it take them to make this game? 5 years, right? So I was thinking about, I was like, okay, well, what was I doing 5 years ago, right? It's a long time, right? And so like, imagine dedicating 5 years of my life to doing one thing, to producing one piece of content, right? There's essentially, I mean, there's hundreds of people working on this thing, but like, look how impactful that is, right? It's like if you spend that much time creating something, like the end result is so much more impactful than, you know, than the smaller pieces of things, right? Even just thinking through just thinking through like the content that like a video, a topic idea, doing research, you know, and just really even just spending a lot of time really just thinking it and revising your thoughts on it so you have a really refined thing that you're presenting to the end user is so much more valuable.
I will
So
say that on my first channel that 100% of the videos that did get hundreds of thousands of views, if not millions, I spent a lot of time.
yeah.
I mean, I did spend a lot of time on videos that flopped, but no videos that I spent little time on went big. So I'll say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
anyway, I mean, it's just, you know, I don't know. It's how I'm kind of looking at things now. And I think and regardless of like whether it's the most optimal strategy or not, it's the change that I think that I need at this point.
For sure. Yeah.
So yeah.
You always listen inward and kind of adjust. I'm glad that you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Content that you can be proud of is cool, you know, instead of just, yeah, it makes me think. I'm like, just like really assessing my mind. Like, do I want to, I mean, I'm sure based off this course, I'll like look at their perspective too and see what everyone's saying. But yeah. Anyways, I think once you build that big audience, though, you can get away with like putting less effort because people like you, right? I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think though the thing is that over time, like that trust that you build or the goodwill will degrade over time, right? Like you can boost it up there, but it's like it's almost like too, it's like that momentum. If everything you put out is fucking awesome, then it's like people are addicted to, you know,
they see your upload, they automatically they click it auto right away.
Right. And that's what I want to get. That's the, you know, I want it to be like if I send an email to someone, they're like, oh shit, it's an email from John. Like, oh, let me open this up and read this thing. This is like my favorite part of the day. Right. Like if the video comes out, right, you know, that's what I want it to become. Like, how can I create that kind of feeling? And that, you know, that's what I'm going to be focusing on.
It's funny. I feel like we've gone in opposite directions in terms of like this creation process. Yeah, I was there. Now I've been more like just trying to pump the money machine, you know. Yeah, but I think we're at different stages with that. I'm trying to like just generate all this wealth and, you know, trying to help a lot of people in the process, of course. But yeah, seeing it from and that artist in me is a little like starving a little bit.
Yeah.
And I did try to feed him through like I did improv classes, and like that it was great. But because I saw I had to fill that creative void with the content, but I was like, there's other ways to do it in my life. Because I mean, right now I'm making a lot of, there's like so many videos of like no contact I'm gonna make, you know, or like it's like after you teach something for, you know, you teach something for a while, it's just like, oh, repeating. But I think another way to kind of go against that is to like just constantly be learning, right? Like reading more stuff and like, not assuming you're an expert in it all. But yeah.
And I was thinking about that too, like in terms of like, you know, because I was like, all right, well, how do I do my shorts and stuff like that? Because there's, you know, shorts are like, well, yeah, what's gonna hit? What's a good trend? What's a good, like, you know? And what I thought about is like, maybe what I should do is like come up with a bunch of things I want to teach and break them down into lessons that are shorts, right? And then take those lessons and then try and find a good spin, a good way to teach it that makes it interesting and fun.
Yeah.
You know, that's engaging. So then I still feel like I'm doing the creative element of it and not being a hack, right? So it's like, even though it might be kind of boring content, it's like something that I've planned out. I have a master plan for this. It's like, you know, I'm going to teach this thing, this concept. Let's say, like, you know, because a lot of the dating type of videos do well. So right now I'm just kind of like, okay, well, what thing can I create that's gonna, you know, how to kiss a girl, how to do this, right? And it's like they're just kind of random stuff. Let's see if it, you know, what things are most likely to blow up. But what if instead I had like an overarching strategy of like, this is the curriculum for learning on, how to be good with women, right? Like dating. And I have all these topics I want to talk about, and then I break them down into shorts and then make each concept into like a 1-minute video where it's, what I'm saying? I feel like that has more of the creative element of it, where you don't feel like you're just a hack just putting out a video, and trying to figure out a way to make that interesting. That becomes a creative challenge, is like, how do I make this interesting to someone and make it engaging to them?
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that. Yeah, I'm yeah, I have felt recently that I'm just kind of like filling a quota with a lot of the content. You know what I mean? Like, all right, I got to create 5 shorts this week. Like, let's go look for a couple topics. Oh, here's a good clip from Jordan Peterson. I can talk about that. And it's kind of fun, but you're right. It's just like, it's not that there's no creative element to it. There's not a lot of it.
Yeah. I was also thinking too, like what Leo was saying in his video about like, or maybe it was in a different video he was talking, because he was talking about his reboot kind of, I think 6 months ago. And he was talking about like not manipulating people. Right. And he's even talking about like, he lives in Vegas. He's out at nightclubs and stuff. He's like, there's things I could text a girl that would make her come over, but I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to manipulate, like, or I don't want to, do that way. Like, and again, I don't think he's talking about like bad manipulation, like dark triads type of stuff, but I think he's talking about just even being more influential than for his purpose. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, just about in general, it's like, how many times am I creating copy or trying to sell something? And really, if I look at my real motives, what am I doing is I'm trying to manipulate the person on the other. Now, obviously, like what I'm selling them was going to benefit them. I believe in the value of it.
But you're thinking of your gain first instead of their gain first.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And so if it's like, that's why I kind of want to make that whole shift and look at it from a more purist perspective of, what if I don't try to manipulate anyone with my sales or copy? Right.
Is there someone that does that you admire, that like is someone you can like look at as a role model that does that? Like doesn't try to manipulate in their content, you think, or sell?
I mean, I feel like the one that comes to mind is, well, there's 2 that come to mind. Seth Godin, right? Like, he's just produced really good books and really good content and just wrote what he felt. I've never really seen him really try to hit you hard with marketing.
Which is ironic because he's like the marketing guru.
Exactly. Right. So that's, maybe I need to go back and read Purple Cow and, some of his book, All Marketers Are Liars, or, right. Because this is almost like tapping. It's funny now. Yeah. I'm seeing the connection. Like, this is almost tapping back into what he's been saying all along. Right. Of how to market. And then David Goggins, right? David Goggins never, ever tries to really push anything. He's just being himself. Right. So, yeah.
Does David Goggins even sell anything?
I mean, he's
besides his book.
So that's it. He's making millions of dollars from his books, and that's all he needs. And that's another good like evidence of this, of creating the art, is that, could David Goggins be making 10 times what he's making? Could he have coaching programs and come run with me and all kinds of, for fucking sure? Absolutely. Right. But if he did that, he wouldn't be selling millions of copies of his books, right? Because he would lose the thing that makes him sell millions of copies of his books. And it's like, all he really needs to do is sell millions of copies of his books. Why? In fact, given the choice, right, of having a complex business model like you and I have, or having a self-published book that sells millions of copies, I mean, which business would you rather have? Right.
Yeah,
all he has to do is learn just right.
I know. I was joking the other day about this, like with like OnlyFans girls, and just like how some of them just are making more money than we're making per month, and all they're doing is like posting photos and videos of themselves, and then like having an VA talk to these guys.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And they're making like $400K a month.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, I'm not even mad about it. It's just it's honestly humorous. It's just the world we live in,
But I know that, like, I mean, again, but can you enjoy that money? Like at first you can, and maybe, some people will push back on this, but can they really enjoy it? Like, can you really be proud of what you're doing? Like, can you really feel like you've done a good job? Like
I think you're tapping into like that whole like just like this is what the process of selling your soul like is, right? It's like, are you doing something just for the sake of money, right? And like the darkest way to, like, we joked about this, my Marco and I, we would never do this, but like if we created a revolving door where like we were helping guys quit porn, but yet we also like had an OnlyFans agency. So we were like Bill Gates, the virus and the software to cure it, right? Like,
and you retarget them.
Yeah, 100%. That'd be like the definition of selling your soul. I really do.
Right. But that's what I've kind of been coming to, that realization, is that in a way I have been selling my soul, like just slowly, little pieces at a time. And that sucks. And that's why like all the life was sucked out of my business and everything, is like, because I don't, again, it's not like I'm scamming people. I mean, I think people are getting the value for what
testimonials give result. No, absolutely.
Yeah, of course, but I'm scamming them in the way that my heart's not in it where it should be, right?
And
so
people feel that. They can tell. Like, I think one of the reasons why I've won with like the quitting porn space when we were in it so much more than anyone else is like, I fucking went through it, man. I wanted to take my own life because of my porn addiction, like it was that bad. People felt that authenticity, and so they feel like if you're passionate about what you're talking about, for sure. Yeah, I mean, think of being at a dinner party, right? And you're talking about something, right? And you have two people talking about, you have two, like Bob and Joe, and Bob's like, he's like, what do you do for a living, Bob? He's like, oh, I'm in retail, blah, blah, blah. He's like, he's going through a script in his mind, right? And everyone says, looking at Bob, starts to like look away, right? Slowly, right?
Yeah.
And then John is like, listen, John, like not you, but like John is like, oh my God, I own a Magic the Card Gathering store. It's the only one in the whole entire world. And I've been playing Magic the Card. Like, you don't even care about Magic the Card Gathering. You're just like, oh, it's so sick. Like, how long have you been doing it? People are engaged. And it's the same thing with YouTube, right? So,
yeah. So you got to really create something that you're proud of. I think that's the key.
Yeah.
And I think about it too, is like, because I was looking at my body of work too, and I was like, all right, well, I wrote these really good books for software development, and those are still best-selling books, but they're really good. Like, those are really good books. Like, I spent a lot of time writing those books, writing, the best, that I could. And I'm proud of those things. Right. Like those are easy to promote. And think about it too. It's like, if you create something that's awesome, how easy is it to promote the thing? Because you're proud of it, because you're excited about it. Like it sort of makes it where the marketing comes naturally. You write good copy because it's true from the heart copy, not just true copy, but true from the, because there's a difference. Like, I mean, there's a spectrum, right? There's like the flat out scammers, fucking liars, right? That are just feeding you a bunch of bullshit, whatever they can. It's not like V-Shred. Right. I can't, my marketing guy is always like, why do you hate V-Shred so much? Because it's total bullshit. It's complete, like, they're only trying to make money, and they're not even giving value, and they're telling lies about the fitness. Like, it starts
off by saying like, I eat donuts and pizza every day. It's like, no, you fucking don't, dude.
Yeah, it's false. It's just totally false, right? And then there's kind of like in the middle where it's like, you're not doing anything false. You are creating something that does help people, but your main job is marketing in sales. It's not the actual thing. Like it's like, and you don't truly, like, your copy doesn't come from your heart, like, of what you authentically feel, but it's like, what can you do to manipulate, in order to create that, manufacture that need, or and then there's like the pure, just, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is the truth about, like David Goggins, right? He's talking about what he's doing, he's talking about his book, he's talking about his journey, right? And people just naturally are just going and buying that thing. Or even, Alex Hormozi is kind of maybe in the middle of those two. He's not quite as pure as David Goggins, and in that sense, he's definitely not on the scammy marketer, right? But his YouTube videos and his content is like, I have nothing to sell you, right? So he's like, you can kind of sense that, but it's still not, you can still sense a little bit of the idea that, like, he's really trying to come up with stuff still that is gonna
Well, I think
Be catchy, right?
I
It's
love
not
Alex. I fucking
just
love
his
Alex. I
passion,
really do.
right?
But like one thing he said on the podcast with More Place More Dates was like he should have denied that he like ever took testosterone. And I'm just like, dude, you did not get that body.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just
But he
not,
can't
we
go. He
know it's
can't
not
renege on that because like his whole business was built. He told that lie to in his fitness business that this is all natural because he was in the fitness business,
right.
and he's not going to go back on that and say, okay, I lied. He's not going to do a Liver King where he, you know, he has to get caught, right? But
I thought he did say something about it because I saw
I saw in the More Place
post.
More Dates. He was asked, or maybe it was a different podcast, but he was asked straight up, "Do you take testosterone or have you?" And he said, "No, I've never taken it." And dude, that it's
Let
like
me see. Hold on. There's a thing. Oh yeah, this is the. Oh, he said he did TRT. Hold on. Let me
did
let me
he?
see if this is what I found. Let me see. I don't know if it's the share
I
audio.
swear I remember like, okay, go ahead.
Oh, did my audio come through? No, let's try this. Okay. Share sound. Okay, let's see if this.
Maybe I heard it wrong. Yeah, let's see. I can't hear it, but it's okay. I can read it. Is that so? Okay, so he says he did TRT.
Yeah, he says he's on TRT since 2019, but we know that that's not actually the real truth, right? That's like because
Yeah, there's no way
yeah.
that he had a great physique with his test levels that low. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is possible to that. Like, it's like, I do think that there is a whole scam in the whole test, like hormone
Dude, people rather
replacement.
share their porn search history than say that they're on steroids.
I know it's so crazy. Well, and I can tell you why too. Well, I mean, first of all, I think that the low T thing is what Alex said. I think a lot of times it just means when you have low T, it just means that you're really good. Your body's really good at processing and using the testosterone.
Okay.
I think that the whole industry of testosterone replacement is a scam based on like they're like knowing that, you know, guys that come in that, you know, they're almost all going to have low levels, but it because they're absorbing and utilizing testosterone. But again, I'm not, you know, 100% on that. But the reason why is because I come forward and I say that I'm on TRT, right? And then every time I fucking post any kind of fitness thing at all, fucking spam comments about, oh, he's on steroids, he's on steroids. And I'm like, this is why people don't fucking say it, is because it's like you try to be honest.
They won't. Well, I mean, yeah, but Noel Dazel, or whatever you say his last name, he's honest about it, and people love his advice, don't they?
I mean, the people that are on anabolics as well, right? That's his following, right? So,
oh, really?
I guess. I mean, I don't know for sure, but but people definitely like
no,
nail your ass.
It's like the incel who like comments on a good looking dude who's talking about dating. He's like, oh, well, you're tall and good looking, so I don't want to. You know, it's right. The people that want an excuse not to put the hard work in, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So,
but that's just white noise, right? It's
yeah.
I get how frustrating that could be because they won't even want to listen to you. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. But yeah, what's going on your end?
Oh shit, yeah. I don't know, man. Like things are going well. Nothing big happening. Just focusing on this YouTube course right now. Week 2, I was able to attend the live call. It's good stuff. Okay. Right now, it's like the first week was just research. He's only unlocking the content week by week, and so like I watched like the whole first week and did all the homework in the first week and in the first 2 days. I mean, excuse me. So I'm just like sitting there like, damn, I want the next week. But
yeah,
he's only releasing week by week. But it's just research right now, and I've done all the research for the channel, so it's kind of just like I'm just twiddling my thumbs. I mean, I'm doing other stuff in the business, obviously, right. But I'm thinking like what our next big hire would be. It's funny how you were saying you were kind of scaling back. I'm trying to think of like if we were to hire someone like really important, and it would be someone who would like run our ads in-house, right. But I don't even know where I would find that guy. And so I was asking you, like, I wanted to ask you, like, where did you find your, did you find him through an agency or? The guy who's was working on your ads.
He reached out to contact me,
Did he?
but like every person I found through that, and the problem is like no one's actually been. So I mean, I think that the guy I was using last was solid, but we just couldn't convert from there. Like, I mean, he was decent at running it, but again, I don't think I've ever found anyone that really like intricately knows the like is being meticulous about the copy that's being put out on the ads and all that. It's sort of like they're just kind of throwing stuff out there.
Yeah, I want someone just to manage like our ads, right? Like the targeting and looking at the ROAS and just like shutting ads off, starting new campaigns. Like,
Oh, so not the creatives.
No, that's me.
Okay.
I love doing creative, right? That's what I love. So no, just managing the ads.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like that shouldn't be too difficult to find.
Where I don't even know where to start looking. I'm just thinking of Marco, like he spends like half his day every day like on it. And I'm just like, if he could free up that time to do other things, it would be great for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I had a good, I don't have a good.
I mean, it's probably obvious. You just kind of like reach out to people you know, and I don't know, maybe I don't know, create like a LinkedIn post. I'm not sure that's the best place to look for someone who to run ads.
You're gonna get a lot of 20-year-olds. Andrew Tate hustling university.
Yeah, my favorite thing, like going to like a networking event or like some conference, is like some 19-year-old kid's like, I run an ad agency. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. It's funny too. I've been actually talking to some people too, like as I've been selling, as I've been kind of having this mind frame shift, and I've been making it really clear in my messaging that this is going to take a long time to build a business. And like, it's going to take a couple of years before you really make any money at all. It's not a hustle. It's not, it's not you're not going to create some ad agency or anything like that. Like this is, and people have been resonating with that message more. I mean, it's like trying to sell this stupid shit or trying to hide that fact is, people want to, at least the right people want to buy into that.
God, they're seeing like, I literally saw an ad yesterday. This kid, he was 22 and he was like on his first class flight. He's on my first class flight to London. And 3 years ago, it only took me like 2.5 years to go from zero to. It's like they see it all the time, right? And so it's like embedded into their subconscious mind that it should only take like 2 years to become a millionaire. And it's just like,
yeah,
these people, and that's why people take shortcuts and they get scammed, and right, they fall for these like things because like, yeah, people want to believe it's just that simple.
But even if you did succeed at it, like, man, I feel like shit.
I know, man. That's the thing is like, man, that's why I didn't like Miami. Am I frozen right now?
Yeah, your video's frozen, or your video's off.
Okay. I'm gonna come back in if that's cool. I don't know what's going on.
Oh yeah. That's hilarious. I just realized that our logos are are very similar.
I accidentally kicked my computer. It's fine. It's good. But no, I was saying like with like, yeah, the people who you said like, yeah, people don't even, if they get there, like they'll sell their soul. And I was just thinking like, it's funny how it's like people say like, oh, once you get that like hot 10 or you have a threesome or you make $1 million, you realize how empty it is. It's like people don't know that until they have it. Like they can hear that. And it's like they have to actually experience that. Like, oh shit, I have a total of $1 million in my assets. And they get like a little bit of like a serotonin and all this like endorphins are like, oh, I feel great. And then literally like a couple days later it fades, right? It's like,
exactly.
Okay,
yeah,
new problems. And then, yeah, I guess people have to learn that themselves, right?
Yeah. I mean, I tell guys all the time that I'm coaching, I'm like, look, if you woke up tomorrow and you had, like $10 million in your bank account, right? And then you went to you got a went to the nightclub, got a table at the club, you have all these girls hanging on you, you got all these guys, all your friends, or, whatever, and they're like, man, you're so cool. Right? Like, how shitty would you feel knowing that you don't deserve any of that, you're not actually that cool, like you didn't do anything, like you just literally just got this money, and you, like, all these people are praising you and think that you're so cool, but you know that you're nothing. Like, that would be the worst fucking hell that you could possibly have, right? Like, that's horrible, right? So, but I mean, it's hard to convey that. That's the best way I think I can convey it for people.
That's what I was trying to tell my girlfriend yesterday, John, is like, you can have all this like knowledge to life about certain lessons and things you've learned, but like the thing about like knowledge in itself, like is it, how do you say it? Like the knowledge of knowledge. What's that? How do you say that term? Is it like,
oh, epistemology.
Epistemology. Thank you.
Yeah.
Epistemology. Okay. Anyways, but like knowledge in itself, like there's cognitive, and there's like, and then there's like intuitive, right? And like you can't teach intuitive through words. At least I don't think you can. Like you have to experiential, right? Which is why, like in therapy, didactic communication is important, but actually doing like actual like exercises and having experience with people is so powerful for change. And yeah, these people they just don't understand. They have to learn it themselves, right? Or like the guys who are chasing that like dream physique, and it's like, yes, like once you get it, it feels amazing. You look in the mirror, you feel proud of yourself, but like it's an iterative process. Like your body, it's like you didn't achieve your body, now you're good. Like you have to constantly maintain it too, right? And it's just like, and the guys who take steroids at a young age trying to get that fast result, it's like they chase that like that dragon of always wanting better, and they turn into a person where I don't even know, man. It's just it's sad. Like people, they kind of go overboard with steroids, right? People die, like they get gut issues. They, I can go ad nauseum when people kind of take too much testosterone too early as a kid, right? And mess with their levels. And people see on social media all these like young 17, 18, 19-year-olds like posing with perfect bodies. And it's like, yeah, it's sad, man, that whole side of things, people chase that. And it's very appealing because I've fallen into that myself. In college, it was with women, right? Like always thinking like, okay, then the next girl, oh, now I need a threesome. Now I need to hook with a black chick. Now I need to hook up with like an Asian chick, like chasing all these ethnicities. Now I need to do this. Now I need to do that. And it was just like, it was never fulfilling ever. Right. Exactly, I didn't have a threesome with like, a foursome. It's like, it's always the next thing. I'm preaching to the choir here. I know this, but I just, anyways, if anyone else is listening.
No, it's so true. And people don't get it. It's like, I always use the analogy too of like, like what if I gave you a marathon medal? What if I took one off my wall and I gave it to you, and then I put your name on it and put the time on it? It's like, well, that would be worthless to me. Why? Because it's at the end of a marathon, you get a marathon medal. Why would it be worthless to you? Because I didn't run it, because I didn't do it. I was like, so then why do you want money you didn't fucking earn? Why do you want girls you didn't fucking earn? Why do you want a physique you didn't fucking earn? Why do you want anything you didn't fucking earn? Right? If how much of a fraud would you feel having a marathon medal hanging on your fucking wall that you never ran a marathon? Like that's the whole thing. It's like,
this is why people who are like given everything in life early on, they don't turn out happy.
Yeah.
Right. They don't turn out happy. You need that struggle. You need it.
Yeah. And that's why it comes down to like the different, like I'll kind of like bringing it full circle back to what I was talking about, is this like, I could put out substandard content and make money from it. And I do, and it's fine. And it's like, okay, and I'm still working, right? But it's how I earned it that makes a difference to me. Right. I remember when I sold my very first thing online, when I sold a $5 blogging workbook online. I think that was it. And I was selling, I sold like one of those. And I had a job as a software developer, making, $100,000 a year, but I made this one $5 sale. And that was more meaningful to me than that entire job. Right. Because I did on my own. Right. And it was like, and I created that thing. And it's like, I think that's what it comes down to. Like, what do you feel about what you've gotten? Like, do you feel like you deserved what you actually got? Right. And if you don't feel like you deserve what you got, and it's going to be different levels for different people. Like some person could be on gear, could be on steroids, and they work their ass off, and like they're doing this to enhance their physique, but they're dieting, their nutrition, they feel like they're they're not taking a shortcut. They just, and for them, it's fine. It's totally good. It's cool. If someone else can do it, trying to take a shortcut, not putting in the work that they know that they should be, getting that end result and feeling like shit about it. Right. I think it comes down to like, you always know whether you did, like, your own judgment of yourself. Like, you cannot escape when you go to bed at night. Whether you deserve what you got or you did not deserve what you got, and nothing can fucking save you from that. Like, that's the ultimate thing that we all have, and that's the key. And that's what I've been kind of coming back to, is like realizing that's what the fucking problem is. That's what all the fucking depression, all of it comes from, is knowing that you are not living up to the potential that you have.
I think I was watching, that guy, man, I forgot his name, Chris Williamson. He's been kind of blowing up.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
Yeah. He, I think, I don't know if he had this quote or he quoted someone else quoting it, but it was basically like, hell is meeting the person you could have been. Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. John, I got to prep for the sales call, if that's cool.
Okay. Yeah.
And great conversation as always, man. Let's do you have my cell number so we can potentially set up that hike or whatever?
Let me see.
I got a new one, so I think you probably don't have it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I have a number.
It's probably not the same.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Here, let me drop it in mine chat, or you can, and then you can text me.
Okay. Cool.
All right, cool. Take care, Josh.
Hold on. How do I copy this?
No.
I can't copy it on my phone for some reason. Let me just write it down.
Okay.
858. What's that from?
That's San Diego.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, John. Thank you.
All right. Take care.